Fast-paced action, retro aesthetics, and adrenaline-pumping gameplay define these gems that bring the golden age of shooters back to life. With tight mechanics and modern twists, these games channel the spirit of the classics while offering something fresh for today's players. Get ready as we count down the top 20 classic-inspired boomer shooters you'll love. Leave a like and let's jump into this explosive list. Prepare for relentless action in Doom Eternal, where players step into the boots of the Doom Slayer, waging war against endless waves of demons. The game delivers a masterclass in fast-paced combat, combining strategic resource management with explosive weaponry. Each level challenges players to think quickly and adapt to increasingly chaotic encounters. Aeon Fury is a love letter to classic 90s shooters, built on the legendary build engine that powered games like Duke Nukem 3D. Players take control of Shelly Bombshell Harrison, battling waves of enemies across intricate, non-linear levels packed with secrets. The game blends nostalgic pixel art with modern enhancements, offering fast-paced combat and satisfying weapons. With its sharp humor, creative level design, and relentless action, Aeon Fury captures the charm of old-school FPS games while refining the formula for modern audiences. Step into the eerie, retro-inspired world of Dusk, a first-person shooter dripping with 90s charm and eldritch horror. Players face cultists, demonic creatures, and supernatural threats across handcrafted levels filled with secrets and surprises. The fast-paced gameplay is complemented by fluid controls, a minimalist aesthetic, and a hauntingly atmospheric soundtrack. With diverse weapons, dynamic movement, and an overwhelming sense of dread, Dusk is both a tribute to classics like Quake and Blood and a standout experience in its own right. Wield powerful otherworldly weapons in a medieval, a mystical FPS inspired by genre-defining classics like Heretic and Hexen. Players traverse surreal, dreamlike realms, each teeming with dangerous foes and unique challenges. The game's arsenal includes magical weapons fueled by soul energy, adding a strategic twist to its frenetic combat. Stunning visuals powered by modern tech give each level a distinct aesthetic, while the atmospheric soundtrack enhances the immersive experience. Ultrakill is a hyper-fast, blood-soaked FPS that pushes speed and intensity to new heights. Combining retro aesthetics with cutting-edge mechanics, players tear through enemies with an arsenal of devastating weapons, regenerating health by soaking up blood. The game's dynamic movement, skill-based combat, and layered level design encourage experimentation and mastery. A heavy metal soundtrack amplifies the chaos, creating an exhilarating rhythm that keeps the adrenaline pumping. Ultrakill redefines what it means to be stylish in an FPS, challenging players to embrace destruction with precision and creativity. Rebooting a cult classic, Shadow Warrior 2013 revitalizes the over-the-top action and humor of the original with modern visuals and fluid gameplay. Players take control of Lo Wang, a wisecracking mercenary armed with a katana, guns, and mystical powers, as he battles demonic forces across sprawling levels. The game's blend of fast-paced combat and witty dialogue makes it an unforgettable experience. Taking everything that made its predecessor great and dialing it up, Shadow Warrior 2 expands on its formula with procedurally generated levels, loot-based progression, and co-op multiplayer. Lo Wang returns with his signature humor and an arsenal of customizable weapons, battling hordes of demons and cybernetic enemies. The game's dynamic combat emphasizes fast movement, creative weapon combos, and strategic use of abilities. Prodeus bridges the gap between classic FPS aesthetics and modern technology, delivering a retro-inspired experience with a polished edge. Players blast their way through beautifully crafted levels teeming with enemies, secrets, and gore, all rendered in a stunning blend of pixel art and dynamic effects. The fast-paced gameplay, intuitive mechanics, and satisfying weapon variety evoke the spirit of 90s shooters like Doom and Quake. With a robust map editor and engaging multiplayer, Prodeus offers endless replayability and a perfect mix of nostalgia and innovation. It's a must-play for fans of high-octane, old-school-inspired action. Step into a grim, Soviet-inspired dystopia in HROT, a retro FPS drenched in atmosphere and tension. Players navigate oppressive environments filled with grotesque enemies, armed with a mix of firearms and improvised weapons. The game's minimalist graphics and unsettling sound design enhance its eerie, oppressive tone. With methodical pacing, challenging combat, and a distinct Eastern European aesthetic, HROT stands out as a unique entry in the retro FPS genre. Its mix of dark humor, strange enemies, and cryptic storytelling creates a haunting experience that lingers long after the final level. Built on the legendary Quake engine, Wrath Aeon of Ruin is a gothic fantasy FPS that captures the essence of 90s shooters while introducing modern refinements. Players explore interconnected levels filled with dark secrets, ancient weapons, and challenging foes. The game's atmospheric visuals and fluid combat create an immersive experience that feels both nostalgic and fresh. With a focus on exploration, varied enemies, and creative level design, Wrath is a love letter to fans of the golden era of FPS games. It's a hauntingly beautiful adventure through a world steeped in darkness and mystery. Quake Remastered breathes new life into the legendary FPS that helped define the genre. Players battle through Lovecraftian environments filled with monstrous foes, fast-paced gunplay, and intricate level design. The remaster introduces modern features like enhanced visuals, improved lighting, and seamless multiplayer while retaining the iconic gameplay that made the original a classic. With additional expansions and new content, this definitive version of Quake ensures that its legacy remains timeless, appealing to both longtime fans and a new generation of players. Celebrate a piece of gaming history with Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour, a remastered edition of the iconic FPS packed with over-the-top action and humor. Players revisit classic levels while exploring new content created specifically for the anniversary. Armed with an arsenal of ridiculous weapons, Duke's journey is filled with aliens, witty one-liners, and explosive mayhem. Enhanced visuals, modern controls, and nostalgic charm make this remaster a perfect tribute to one of the most memorable games of its time. Prepare for large-scale carnage in Serious Sam 4, where players face absurdly massive waves of enemies in chaotic open environments. Armed with an arsenal of over-the-top weapons, players blast through hordes of aliens and monsters in a game that doesn't take itself too seriously. The scale of battles is staggering, with hundreds of enemies on screen at once. With co-op multiplayer, dynamic combat, and the series' signature humor, Serious Sam 4 is an exhilarating FPS that doubles down on pure, unfiltered fun. Dive back into the world of retro horror with Blood, Fresh Supply, a remastered version of the cult classic FPS. Players take on the role of Caleb, a vengeful anti-hero battling dark forces across atmospheric, gore-filled levels. With modern enhancements like improved visuals, better controls, and expanded modding support, this remaster retains the charm and intensity of the original. The fast-paced combat, dark humor, and creative level design make Blood, Fresh Supply a must-play for fans of 90s shooters. Postal. Brain Damage takes the chaos of the Postal series to a new level with a fast-paced FPS spin. Players traverse bizarre, surreal levels filled with twisted humor, ridiculous enemies, and over-the-top weaponry. The game's colorful art style, relentless combat, and absurd tone deliver a unique experience that feels both fresh and completely unhinged. It's a wild ride through the deranged imagination of the Postal universe. Enter a neon-soaked cyberpunk nightmare in Turbo Overkill, a high-octane FPS blending fast-paced action with futuristic visuals. Players control Johnny Turbo, battling rogue AI and biomechanical enemies with an arsenal of outlandish weapons and cybernetic upgrades. Its fluid gameplay, vertical movement, and stylish design create an exhilarating shooter experience. With its over-the-top tone and relentless energy, Turbo Overkill is a dazzling homage to both retro and modern FPS sensibilities. Hellbound is a love letter to 90s FPS games, delivering fast-paced, gore-filled combat inspired by classics like Doom and Quake. Players face relentless waves of demons across brutal levels, wielding powerful weapons to annihilate their foes. With its retro aesthetics, aggressive gameplay, and high-octane action, Hellbound offers a nostalgic yet modernized experience that captures the essence of old-school shooters. Boomerang X introduces a fresh twist to the FPS genre, combining arena-based combat with fast-paced acrobatic movement. Players wield a mystical boomerang, chaining attacks and teleporting through surreal, colorful environments. Its minimalist storytelling and unique mechanics create a high-energy, skill-based experience that rewards creativity and precision. With its innovative design and striking visual style, Boomerang X stands out as a truly one-of-a-kind shooter. Step into a chaotic, blood-soaked world in Viscerafest, a retro-inspired FPS that combines frantic combat with colorful visuals and a quirky story. Players battle hordes of enemies using a diverse arsenal of weapons while navigating challenging, secret-filled levels. Its high-energy gameplay, eccentric tone, and engaging design make it a standout for fans of fast, over-the-top action. Project Warlock blends classic FPS gameplay with RPG elements, offering players a vast arsenal of weapons and abilities to customize. With retro-inspired graphics and diverse levels ranging from dungeons to icy wastelands, the game delivers fast-paced, engaging combat. Players upgrade their character, unlocking new skills and firepower as they progress. Its mix of nostalgic design and modern innovation makes Project Warlock a must-play for fans of the genre. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up as that really helps a lot. If you think any game is missing or if you're planning to play any of these games, don't forget to leave a comment. Top 20 classic-inspired boomer shooters you'll love. This has been another video from New Quest Play, and I'll be here waiting for you for the next quest.